Good morning everyone and welcome to our last day of Greater Manchester Careers Week virtual careers fairs. Today we are talking about careers within manufacturing and logistics. We've got some great guest speakers coming up, some employers talking about their businesses, how they operate, what a career in manufacturing and logistics involves, industry experts explaining what a typical day will look like, and some training providers talking about routes into the sector. So if you're interested in a career in manufacturing and logistics, or you're working in the sector at the moment and you'd like to have a slight change to a different area, we'll have all the information that you need coming right up. Before we get started with a very full schedule this morning, please be aware that today's event is hosted as a live event on Microsoft Teams, so only the presentation and guest speakers are visible, so don't worry about having your camera or microphone muted. We'll be recording today's session and putting it out across YouTube and other channels later. So if there's anything that you find particularly useful, don't worry about jotting it down. You can come back and watch it later on this afternoon. For the next hour and a half, we will be following this event schedule. If I can bring up the next slide. So for the first 15 minutes, we're just going to give you a quick overview to the sector, what it looks like at the moment, future prospects, some of the different roles and career types that are available, and how you enter the sector, the training, qualifications and skills that you might need. We've then got presentations from the Job Gym, Juniper, Career Connect and GP Strategies, followed by some employer presentation from Rowlinson Knitwear and William Turner. Unfortunately, we've not been able to get Bailey Instruments this morning. They've had to cancel at the last minute, but she's going to come and record her presentation again. So we'll try and add it into the YouTube edit next week, or send you a link to that as a separate video. So as a bit of an introduction, today's event is part of National Careers Week, and there's a huge amount of activities going on throughout the course of this week and tomorrow as well, because it goes on till the 6th. You can take a look at the National Careers Week website. I've popped it up on the screen now. Head over there to find their National Careers Week TV full of featured employer videos. They've had some great talks and live sessions that they've made available on there throughout the course of this week, focusing on different sectors, and there's a huge amount of resources and planning tools that you can download on there, so be sure to go and check it out. In Greater Manchester, there has been some fantastic events taking place. There's more to come still today and tomorrow from ourselves and Bridge GM. So to find out more about those, just go onto social media, use the hashtag GMCW2021. As part of today's events, we've put together a range of resources to help you get the most out of things. So we've got skills builder profiles available on the website to help you plan out what you're good at, where that could take you in terms of the career and the skills that you need along the way. We've got some career roadmap planning tools to explore the different routes to get to the same end goal, employer evaluation sheets to help you make notes on some of the people that you've heard from today or at other sessions. You can also download a participation certificate. I've had trouble with that all week, to show that you've taken part. You can take that along to your careers advisor, your work coach, your training provider, and get them to sign it to show that you've taken part. After the event, we'll be sending around an information pack with links to employer profiles, live job vacancies, training providers, their course listings, and lots of the information that you will hear about today. And for anybody who's watching the video back on YouTube, those will also be available to download from the website. All this information and more can be found there at stockport-jobsmatch.co.uk/career-development, as well as over 3,000 job vacancies available for you to apply for right now, full course listings, and there's an events calendar on there about other careers events that are coming up over the next couple of weeks, as well as over 100 careers advice articles talking you through different career options in different sectors, free CV templates, etc. So be sure to go and check that out. Right, so on to today's main programme then. First up, we're going to give you a very quick overview of the manufacturing and logistics sector. Manufacturing and logistics often go hand in hand. Because the more things that industry produces, the greater the need to procure, transport, secure and dispatch goods, whether they be parts and materials or the finishing product. In terms of manufacturing, if we believed everything we watched on the TV or in the movies, you'd think that nobody works in UK manufacturing anymore, and everything is produced by robots with astonishing efficiency, sign writing on the side of cars. That's not actually true. With an annual output of 192 billion, the UK remains the 9th largest manufacturing nation in the world. According to Make UK, manufacturing makes up 11% of gross value added. It directly employs more than 2.6 million people. It accounts for 45% of total UK exports, represents almost 70% of business research and development, and provides 13% of business investment. So a lot of statistics there, but needless to say, it's a very, very buoyant industry with lots of job prospects available. We're a world leader in aviation, second in the world in defence, and we still have a large automotive industry. We're also a big investor in British construction, nuclear, steel and plastics. And let's not forget putting ourselves on the world stage in terms of chemical and pharmaceutical. So we do still make a lot in Britain, and with continued investment, training, employer confidence, jobs in manufacturing and supply chain are continuing to rise and expected to do so for the years to come. In fact, 81% of manufacturing businesses said they were ready to invest in new technologies to boost productivity in the 2019 to 20 annual manufacturing report. So some good outlook and prospects there. In terms of supply chain and logistics, thanks to the growth of internet retailing and rising consumer consumption levels, there's obviously an increasing need for logistics and supply chain experts. And I don't just mean everybody knowing firsthand the name of their Amazon delivery driver. Every organisation has a supply chain, but in the retail sector in particular, the need for perfect order deliveries, customer responsiveness, cost efficiencies are key competitive priorities. So it's no surprise that logistics and supply chain management are absolutely critical to meeting growing customer demand in this 24/7 next day delivery, always on culture. So that's a bit of an introduction to the sector. So it's got strong anticipated growth and a positive jobs outlook, but what kind of jobs can you actually do? Well, we've listed here some of the manufacturing jobs, and I know Ian at Job Gym is going to come on to some of the role profiles within logistics a little bit later on. The main areas are aerospace, automotive, chemical and pharmaceutical, construction, defence, electronics, energy, food and drink, nuclear, plastics, security, steel, space and textiles. So a huge amount of different sectors, which naturally means a massive array of different job roles. We've put some of them on here to kind of give you a bit of an inspiration, but you can see ranging from blacksmith through to welder, there's a real variety. It's a really good idea to go onto websites like National Careers Service or Prospects. They've got sections of their website dedicated to jobs profile, so you can click on any of these job titles and it will give you a full job description. It will tell you the qualifications required, the skills required and the typical duties. So they're a really, really good place to start. Or if you can't find something that you're looking for, maybe you could go onto job boards, look at job advertisements, and they'll have similar information there. In logistics, I know I said that Ian will mention it shortly, but as a quick intro, roles cover supply chain and planning, procurement and supply, freight transportation, warehouse, including design and management, distribution networks, inventory management and control. So a huge amount of choice. Most require specific skill set and expertise, as you can imagine. Some involve hands-on physical work, whereas others are quite analytical, requiring good digital skills, innovation, research, technology, maths, engineering, and those obviously require specific qualifications or certifications before you can get started. But once you do, what are the benefits that a career in manufacturing can offer you? Well, it's a growing industry. as we said, due to investment, innovation, emerging technologies and globalisation. That means that there's something for everyone because there's more jobs on offer than your standard industry. So with more diversity and choice, it allows you to get what you want from your career, whether you want something that's quite hands-on or something that's quite technical, or you want to rise your way through the ranks. There's more jobs than candidates, which is added to by skills shortages. And this is a good thing if you're a candidate. It's a tough thing if you're a business. But this is caused, these skill shortages are caused by older members of the workforce retiring and not enough people coming through education with the skills required to pick up those jobs. And in actual fact, the situation is so bad now in manufacturing that many companies are putting into place their own training schemes and academies. So that means that manufacturing and logistics companies tend to invest heavily in training as well as staff retention, so that once that they've trained up those staff and given them the necessary skills, they work really hard to keep them. So in terms of what that means for you, it means that even if you enter a position that doesn't require any qualifications beforehand, you can expect to be well trained on the job, to continue to be well trained throughout your career with that company, and also for them to do as much as possible to keep your skills and offer you a long career. So really, really positive. Another myth is that manufacturing jobs are badly paid. In reality, the average salary in manufacturing is £33,592 compared to £832 for the whole economy. So 33.5 compared to 29.8 for the whole economy. And that's way above the service sector at 29,000. And in supply chain, the average wage at middle management is 42,000, and there's the potential to rise above 100,000 for higher tier roles. So really, really good earnings potential there, which is great. And as you can imagine, there's high levels of job satisfaction, not just because of the pay, but the career progression, the training, travel opportunities, or just the diverse nature of the job. So a good one to look into. In terms of entry requirements, so whether you're currently at secondary school, college, university, whether you've left education and you're just starting your career, or you've maybe had a career elsewhere, whether that be a couple of years or a longer career, and you're looking to switch into manufacturing and logistics, how do you get started in the sector? You can apply directly. But it's a really good idea to try and get some work experience first. That might be through an internship, a traineeship, unpaid work, placement, work shadowing, etc. Rely on your contacts here. See if there's people that you know. Do your research about different sectors and different jobs. There's lots of resources as well. You can watch YouTube videos about what different jobs involve and try and get some understanding of the sector so that you can reflect that in your CVs and applications. Get qualifications. Some do require a starting level of qualifications, and our training providers are going to cover that this morning, but things like forklift truck license, for example, could be a prerequisite for some job applications. So we'll come on to that later. You might want to consider starting an apprenticeship, and remember that these are available for people of all ages. An apprenticeship isn't just for a young person, it's for anybody who's wanting to develop their skills. And for most of those, they simply require some GCSEs or equivalent, usually in English and maths. You could go on to further education, so some require slightly higher levels of qualifications. Others too benefit from a degree level qualification. That could be something where you work in industry and gain your degree whilst you're working. In terms of skills and knowledge and what's required, it's really, really broad depending on the type of job that you go for. Some need attention to detail, physical strength or dexterity. Communication skills are a must, ability to use different tools and technologies, but overall a willingness to learn, somebody who can cope under pressure, who's a good problem solver, who can apply critical thinking, etc. So that's a real whistle-stop tour of the sector. We're going to come on to now some training providers to keep things moving this morning. And first up, we have got Ian at the Job Gym, who's sharing his own absolutely fantastic slides this morning. So I will just send Ian live over to you, and I think he's going to share his screen.
Yeah, I'll take it over, Caroline. So,
thanks, Ian.
Lovely. Good morning, everybody. I hope this Friday's finding you well. Certainly the joy of spring is here. It's feeling a lot better. So my name's Ian. I'm one of the referral account managers for the Job Gym. And one of the things I'll sort of say, first of all, thank you for having me on. And I think all of the things that I'm going to talk about here reflect right across all the training providers that are on this call. And there are more training providers out there. And I think what I really want to get across is that during this sort of Groundhog Day mentality, and let's be honest, this is exactly what COVID's done. And if you remember the movie with Bill Murray during that period of time learned to ice sculpt, play the piano, do all sorts of different things. This is your opportunity to get ahead of the game, to pick up these qualifications and licenses. And all the providers that are on board with you here can give you those, and they're not going to cost you a penny to sort of do. So certainly look at these opportunities to bring up. So I work for the Job Gym. The Job Gym is a big logistics training provider. We've been in operation for well over 50 years now. And I myself come from a background. I was the PC Works flagship store operations manager for their warehouse. And I got into logistics completely by mistake. It wasn't something I planned to do. And exactly as Caroline's sort of saying, it was such a wonderful opportunity and time. I mean, I'm going back 15 years and I was on over £40,000 a year back then. So absolutely to reflect the value of this, if you've got the skill set and you've got the tenacity and the knowledge to build on, this could be absolutely the best thing that you ever look at. So as we move sort of forward, just to sort of talk you through. So, I mean, why logistics? At the end of the day, I think we all appreciate, as Caroline sort of said, since COVID, you know, my son is now on name terms with our Uber Eats driver. It's really depressing. He turns up in the morning, hiya Adam, how are you doing? And that's something that I think we're all appreciating, that logistics has changed the way that things work. You know, before logistics, we were all small communities. We didn't share, we didn't work. The logistics industry now is absolutely paramount to making sure that we survive and we grow and we develop. I've spoken to lots of people about logistics, and the first thing that most people say to me is, well, it's a warehouse job, isn't it? And yeah, okay, it's working in warehouse, it's working in that sort of distribution field. But I think we have this one view that it's just picking and packing, putting in boxes. We've seen Amazon, we've seen what those sorts of things are. But even those industries are very, very complex industries with loads of opportunities inside of them. So be it from freight through to rail, you know, through to lorries, through to trucks, through to the aviation, the opportunities to be part of that industry is absolutely huge. And I think particularly because of Brexit and what's happened with Brexit recently, there's a lot of our drivers, there's a lot of our forklift truck drivers, HGV drivers that are going back to Europe, and that leaves a huge shortfall in what we're looking for. So we are, as a logistics sort of country, very, very eager and desperate to find people that will come on board, and it's a great opportunity to start on a good career going forward. So as I said, it isn't just about warehouse. You know, the logistics components are huge, you know, from inbound to outbound. So you think about it, that distribution network that sends the stuff to the shops has to get the stuff in the first place. So it's like a domino effect. You know, your manufacturers produce, they put it to a distribution send it to the larger distribution, and the larger distributions share that out. In those infrastructures, you've got the office, you've got the fleet management, you've got the general warehouse sort of staff that are taking the goods in, managing that material, put it in the right sort of place so it can be picked and distributed quickly and effectively at the back end of it. You've got things like lean process. So again, always constantly looking at ways of maximizing these opportunities in the warehouses, in logistics, to bring that profit down, to turn around that speed of delivery. Material handling, you know, somebody has to build them. The Job Gym itself, we run what's called the Warehouse Technology Group. So part of our actual main business is to support about 3,000 logistics companies across Greater Manchester, in fact, UK wide. And we support them with things like forklift truck security barriers and the fire safety equipments and things like that. So again, inside of this one infrastructure, you have just like an ant's nest of different opportunities to look towards. Order fulfillment, inventory management, planning, but also you've got your HR, you've got your payroll, you've got your recruitment, you've got all of your customer services, office administration staff, and you've got all that cleaning staff as well behind the end of it. So to keep these industries working, it's a lot of effort and a lot of time is put into it. And I think a lot of the employers that we're talking to at the moment appreciate the fact that you are their biggest resource. They can replace a forklift truck pretty quickly, but to replace the driver is a lot harder. You know, so there's a lot of commitment being put on board by these providers to make sure that your support is there, your growth is there, and your development is there. Okay, so Little bit about us. So again, we are Ofsted regulated. I think all the providers on the call today are Ofsted regulated. So all the courses that you're going to receive are fully awarded, fully recognised. And as I sort of said, they're free. So you've got nothing to lose. The idea of these sessions today is for you to be able to turn around, put your toe in the water, wiggle it round a little bit and say, do I want that job? And do you know what? If you don't, you've tried it. These providers can turn around and say, well, have you tried this element? Let's see what worked. What did you like about what you did? And then we'll figure out how to adapt that to make it work for you in logistics. So the job gym itself, we've been working with the job centres now and the unemployment sector for about 10 years. In that 10 years of time, we've supported and helped over 15,000 people back into work. And again, we do that, as do all the providers, because of the network of employers that we work with. So at the moment in time, I've got employers at the back end, exactly as Caroline's sort of saying there, looking for people. And, you know, I've got one employer, for example, that might be looking for 20 people, and I can literally turn around and say I've got 5. Because there's not enough people coming into this industry. So there is a shortfall, and we're desperate to draw you in, get these qualifications done so my son can get his McDonald's in the morning without whinging about it. Okay, we are industry specialist trainers. So again, all of the people that we have on board with us, and I'll get onto some of the courses in just a second, come from a realistic background. They've done the business, they've done the work, and they're going to be able to embed and give you that support in a realistic way. So when you do go to those employers, when you do take it to that interview, that knowledge is there, the confidence is there, you know, you've touched it, you've felt it, you've had a go, and we've really embedded that learning style behind you as well. As I sort of said, we are an Ofsted Grade 2 standard employer and training provider. It takes a lot of work, and I think when you look at those Ofsted standards, it's about us providing you with that wraparound support and making sure that the next step is supported as well. So constant feedback, constant reviews. Are you okay, and how can we sort of help? And it is outstanding facilities. I know at the moment, because we're in a tier 4 lockdown, there's a lot of virtual activity rather than physical. As soon as we drop down to tier 3, because logistics is a key skills training area, we're going to be able to open our doors, get you in, and get some realistic sort of practical support done for you. So how do we do it? Other than giving you, as I sort of said, building that confidence, we do a lot of programs around it, and it is interview skills as well. So don't worry if it's a case of I've got a forklift truck license, but I don't know how to use it forward. That's what we're for. All the providers on this call today can talk you through those things. We're going to give you that further knowledge and that further learning. We're going to give you those qualifications in your hand, show you how to put them on your CV and how to maximise that opportunity, and give you that work experience as well. So when you do go, you've got that opportunity then to push that forward. And I think just covering the aspects as well, a lot of us are using digital for the first time, especially in the logistics field. I talked to a lot of people from Manchester Airport who've unfortunately recently been made redundant because obviously that field has slowed down a little bit at the moment. Not really been digitally enhanced as much as they should. These programs, again, will bring all of that up. So when you do go forward, you've got extra skill sets to use as well. Logistics training, loads and loads of areas. So like I sort of said, for us, we've been driving and training forklift truck drivers now for the past 50 years. So a lot of experience in it. The licenses that we provide are good European-wide licenses and supported. So your FLT licenses, we do 3 types. We do what's called reach, which is your high load side. We do counterbalance, and we do what's called a bendy or pivot truck. So loads of opportunity to pick up different skill sets. The normal one that you see obviously is that counterbalance, which is the front loading one. These licenses normally around about £650 to acquire, but you're unemployed, you're looking for work, and there's a deficit in the market. Let's help you get that. It's not going to cost you a penny, but you'll walk away with that license. And the way that we operate with our employers, they're aware of the fact that you're a new learner, a new driver. You get a green job with them, and they're very, very slowly going to bring you up, get that experience forward, and that wage is going to go up as your experience increases as well. So don't worry if you've never driven one before, that's supportable. If you've had an internal license, that's really easily sort of done, and we can turn that around and get you back onto the market. General warehouse sort of work, a lot of fun. It's active, you've got to be mobile, it is physical in quite a lot of these cases, but inside of that warehouse you've got things like your perpetual inventory, so keeping stock, your profit and loss, managing all of that. So again, just because you don't think you're going to be strong enough to move all those boxes doesn't mean that you can't support and be in those warehouse opportunities. So again, always look for what's available. Driver CPC qualifications. Certain people out there on the call today will have been driving for quite a while. I think the year that we're looking at is around 1979 or 1989, I think it is. On your license, you had what's called acquired rights. Now, your driver CPC qualifications lift those rights up and give you a right then to drive LGVs, larger vehicles, fixed wheelbases, and we can support you in that. And these licenses are absolutely paramount when you're going into the logistics field. We've potentially got some training support coming through in the next couple of weeks for LGV driver training as well. So again, I'll share these with Caroline. As soon as those come on board, we could get you an LGV license and get you on the road doing the actual haulage. And there's a couple of pathway to apprenticeship programs and what's called Kickstart. So if you are between the 18 to 24-year-old market and you're interested in getting these things and you've got a driving license, a lot of these opportunities will take that basic driving license and upgrade you to LGV while you're on course with them. So again, look at all of these opportunities. Customer service, as I've sort of said, is standard. You know, I think any distribution network, be it John Lewis right the way through to your Asda warehouse, they have people there ready to take those calls, answer the queries and make sure those orders are correct. So that supply chain works professionally. Digital support, obviously you need anyway. A lot of these nowadays, I know when I was in warehouse, it was a piece of paper with a pallet with a pen and you were ticking supplies off, you were checking orders. Nowadays it's PDAs. All you're doing is scanning an item, typing in the number. So that digital skill is needed in the majority of cases. Okay. And then courier driving, big area at the moment, obviously, and there are courier driver courses available, give you that insight, that skill set and that knowledge to become a courier driver. And you never know, you could be the next person that's driving along now, picking up the COVID tests or dropping them off. Loads and loads of opportunities right at this moment in time for those. And I think they're going to expand as we go forward anyway. So talking about FLT, there we've got a counterbalance license. That's the one that standardly everybody sort of sees. We supply what's called an RTITB license. So that is fully accredited. It's European wide. Hopefully you're going to use it in the UK. But these licenses are there for you. All you've got to do is come through, tell us what your sort of background experiences are, and we can support you through on that. It may take you a couple of weeks to sort of get it, but at the end of the day, you've got those sort of licenses in hand. At the moment, the one thing I would say, because we're on tier 4, is that we can't physically deliver the FLT actual practical test. But in the next couple of weeks, as we drop down into tier 3, we're going to be ready for you, get these licenses done and get you supported through. Driver CPC, so just to sort of pass that through, this is what you can expect to do on the road. The courses that we offer cover things like mental health awareness as well, because these are strenuous jobs, but they're very, very rewarding. The money inside of LGV and the opportunities to sort of grow and develop into transport managers, site control, all those sorts of different opportunities really, really do come to pass. So again, look at the opportunities that are available. Don't be afraid to ask. We're all here. If you're not sure about something in particular, I'm going to share our number later. I'm sure Caroline will share our details as well. So give us a call, find out what we can sort of tell you. If it's not right for you, do you know what? You've looked at an opportunity, and that's really what we're trying to get out today. How it works. So again, all of our courses at the moment are virtual. We're not going to stress you and put you into a COVID unsafe environment. Our centre alone, we've spent over £100,000 since COVID's come on board, making sure that this site is perfectly safe for you and that our tutors, our staff and our support personnel are all supported as well. So all the courses at the moment are virtual. We have an e-truck license. So again, we can train you how to drive the general idea of a forklift truck from home. You will come on site eventually to get the physical license, but everything else is done in that comfortable and supported way. To give you a rough idea then, when we talk about training in a realistic environment, this is our reverse logistics warehouse. So we've invested about £1.5 million into this warehouse to make it as realistic as we sort of can. Pointless teaching you how to do something on the 3rd floor of a block of flats or in the back of a pub. It's all about the realism. We train forklift truck in there. These centres are really e-commerce related. So the idea of it is that we can pop up different centres. We also run a manufacturing programme. Again, when we're back available, we do manufacturing support as well. So keeping it real, keeping you so you can touch it, you can feel it, and to be honest with you, you can break it. So when you do go to an employer, you're not looking at them as though, where am I don't understand what a warehouse is. These are realistic environments to support you through. The courses that we offer vary. So I know we're here for logistics today, but I've got to cover everything. You've come on because you're looking for an opportunity. And again, from Caroline's point of view and everybody on the call, I cannot stress enough that this is your opportunity to shine. You've come on this call today, or you're watching the video later on YouTube. You've made a conscious decision to look at a sector, and that's the first step. Your future, your responsibilities sit here. We will support you on that journey. We'll give you what you sort of need, but it does start with you saying, I want to learn. So thank you for coming on. The courses that we offer then running right the way down there, you can see those, and I'll make sure that Caroline shares these out. From warehouse to forklift truck driver CPC that you've seen. Functional skills particularly, again, I think it's one of those things that all of us, especially with children now working from home, are suddenly finding that we have to understand maths to a level that, you know, when I did my CSC at school, I got a grade 3. My phone's just gone off, which I do apologise for. It causes issues, you know, so those functional skills are there should you need them. IT, English and maths, we can pick them up. Security guard and licenses. So again, in the logistics field, all of these warehouses have security personnel, so you can get your SIA badge, that's supportable. Courier service, work skills is all about getting those CVs ready, getting you to understand those competencies for interview. We go through live interview sessions with you. You'll actually get feedback, which is something I know when I was unemployed, really got on my nerves when I didn't find out what I'd done wrong. So these courses are really great. CSCS cards, you may be building the next warehouses and the next logistic structures of the future. So again, these are available. General cleaning, mental health, customer service. What I'd ask you to do, if you are interested in the programme and you're unemployed, talk to your advisor. Stockport Centre's open, so they've obviously the advisors are there. They can talk to you either through your journal or via phone. They'll be able to put you on with us. If you wish, you can always give us a call, 0333 220 6645. We've got people ready just to give you advice. And on a Monday to Thursday, we do what's called an IAG session, so information, advice and guidance. It's free to attend. We're not going to take your kidney or own your soul at the end of it, but we're going to talk you through the courses that are available. Take this sort of program into a bit more depth so you understand what you're looking at. And if it's right for you, then we can take that forward and give you the support as well. All right. I did have any questions, but I think we're going to do questions at the end, Caroline, are we? So I'll leave it there for now, unless you've got some questions to sort of ask. But I'm assuming that we'll leave that where it is. I'm available, so any questions that do come through, Caroline, I'm sure will pick them up, and then she'll let me know as soon as, and I'll be able to answer them myself anyway. So let's get at that, and I'll hand it back to Caroline.
Great, thanks, Ian. Yeah, if anyone has got questions, because it's a live event rather than a meeting, they need to send those to us at the Facebook or Twitter account. So on Twitter, it's at JobsMatchSK. On Facebook and Instagram, it's at Stockport JobsMatch. So if anybody has got any questions, they can send those across to us. Sorry, just switching from Ian's slides back to mine. Don't worry, we're still here. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions, they can send those across, or they can email info@stockport-jobsmatch.co.uk at any point, whether you're watching live or at a later date. But thank you very much, Ian. Really interesting to know that you can do various different truck and driving licenses as virtual events from your own home. Something that I never knew was even possible. But yeah, a great lockdown skill to acquire. Really good overview as to the sector there, so thank you very much indeed to Ian for joining us today, and we will share out all of Ian's details, all of that course information as part of our event packs, or you can go onto the JobsMatch website, click on the training directory, and you'll find all of the details there. So next up this morning, we have got Kerry and Leighton joining us from Juniper. So do you just want to give me a thumbs up, guys, and let me know who's going first?
It'll be myself. Kerry's joining us today because I've got a second meeting later that was sort of running concurrently with this. So towards the end, I may need to just disappear and hand you over to Kerry, but that'll be more towards the end of the session, not during the slides.
No problem. I will put you live now. Thanks very much, Leighton. Here we go.
Thank you. So good morning, everybody. I'm Leighton from Juniper Training, and you probably can see Kerry there just at the bottom of the screen.
Hiya.
So really say thank you to Ian. I think really, in all honesty, is a great starting point to lead us into what I'm going to talk about. So Juniper Training, we're an independent training provider. Like Ian and the organisation there, we actually focus on looking at securing outcomes for employment for apprentices. So looking at both the employer side and the individual side. We've been operating for over 35 years, nearly 40 years now. both within the traineeship and foundation learning and the apprenticeship sectors, basically supporting thousands of students through apprenticeships each year to support their career goals. Ofsted rated good, so we are really looking forward to moving that forward and aiming towards the next grade up. So if you could just move me on, please, Carolyn, that'd be wonderful. Can I have the next slide, please? Sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry that you have to. I missed it. Do apologise, my bad. So I'm going to split this down into two sectors. So firstly, looking generally what is an apprenticeship and at the employee side of things, and then secondly for the employer's side of things. So hopefully we'll cover the full spectrum for everyone that's out there today. So what is an apprenticeship? Well, apprenticeship is a program of learning whilst in employment. So as an individual, you'll be working within an environment such as supply chain, as Ian said, customer service. We do other stuff in there which falls into the sector, so team leading, business administration, recruitment, HR, etc., amongst other things. All of that, you'll be working in the employer, doing the job, and actually learning the skills as well to go with that job. Historically, if you'd have got a degree or been to higher level education, you weren't able to do an apprenticeship. That's actually changed now. So if you have got a degree, as long as it's not in the same subject as what you're doing, you can jump on and do an apprenticeship program. What will you learn? Well, basically everything. As I say, that you're working with the employer, so you'll be learning the job that you're doing. In addition to that, you'll be learning the actual way to do things. So you'll be learning, say, on a supply chain, the moving and handling, how to deal with different situations with regards to the labelling, the scanning, etc., as well as learning the actual specific skills required for the role. So it's that maximises everything that you need. And how do you find an apprenticeship? Oh, sorry, what will you earn? I should say first. So basically what you'll earn, the minimum pay for an apprentice is from April this year, it's going to be £4.30 per hour. That doesn't mean you'll be guaranteed just to pay that. Some employers do pay more. As an example, I have recently had a young gent who's just 17 years of age, which will again will support Ian's and Carolyn's comments regarding the salary, that started an apprenticeship that's getting £8.36 per hour. Now, I know if at 17, if somebody had been paying me the equivalent of £8.36 per hour, I would have been a very happy individual. So it is up to the employer. Like I say, there is incentives and payments there that can pay more, but the minimum pay you will receive is £4.30. So how do you find one of these apprenticeships? It's quite easy. You can look on the Juniper Training website. Also on Facebook. I'm personally a member of Manchester Jobs, so you'll see any vacancies that we have in the Manchester area, the Stockport area, etc. Will come up on there. We don't just do warehousing. So if warehousing and supply chain is perhaps not for yourself, like Ian said, there's customer service, there's business administration. We also look at the educational side of things, so childcare, teaching assistants. So there's lots of different things available there too. So employers, oh, sorry, could you just take me back a second? So employers, what about for yourself? How can an apprentice assist your organisation? Well, as Ian said, that basically you're learning the skills so you can develop that individual to meet what you need as a business. That person is yours to mould to actually meet those needs. But in addition to that, you're having somebody that's having formal training, formal qualification, which is government recognised and government funded to go further. So you're developing somebody throughout the career. So it's not just a 12-month program for a 16-year-old, it's a career path. And as I say, it can apply to anyone of any age. What else is available? Well, incentives. The government has just announced some additional incentives for apprentices, which are absolutely fantastic. So basically, if you recruit someone that is 16 to 18 years of age, you qualify as it stands for a £1,000 government incentive towards that person's training and development. However, in addition to that, for any apprentice for any age recruited from the 1st of April this year through to the end of August this year, you will qualify for an additional £3,000 per individual to put towards whatever you want to. So basically, for somebody who's 16 to 18, you qualify for a £4,000 incentive for your organisation, and for anyone who is 19 and above, regardless of age, regardless of prior qualifications regarding to say it isn't in the same subject, then you qualify for a £3,000 incentive. In addition to that, we at Juniper Training also offer something called Traineeships. Now, a traineeship is a work placement for an individual. So basically what happens there is that we would approach, or you can approach yourselves as a training organisation, and we would ask you ideally to support a young person 2-3 days a week. It's an unpaid position, so they'll learn how to do the job, and you can support them with their learning and development. And then on the other days, they'll be coming to the centre and possibly maybe working, if they do need it, towards the maths and English, or would be actually doing recruitment skills to prepare them for the job interviews. For that, again, great incentives are available. Bear in mind that you don't have to pay these individuals. It is a voluntary thing. You would qualify as an organisation for £1,000 per individual that you fully support, up to a maximum of 10 individuals. Equally, if you're really satisfied with that person, you think, yeah, that's a great asset to my organisation, I'd like to take them on and develop the career further, you can actually move them onto the apprenticeship, and then in addition to the £1,000 you've already received, receive the additional apprenticeship incentives. So now's a great time to move on. And to tie in with what Ian was saying, hopefully, and you don't mind me saying this, that Ian mentioned about lots of those short courses. Those short courses are a great way to introduce. So you could use somebody on one of Ian's short courses. They've had that taster, they've realised it's for them, they've got a taste for the business, they've got some underpinning skills. Because it's a short course, the individual's knowledge would still be classed as not extensive. Not saying that you're not giving that, but not too much for do the apprenticeship. In which case you could possibly put them on an apprenticeship thereafter. So you're getting a short course with an individual, you've got that person, then you can move them on. Carolyn, would you be kind enough just to move me on to the next slide? So again, there's just a view of some of the slides, or not some of the slides, some of the apprenticeships that are available, and you can see some of the key ones which we do. We do customer service, level 2, level 3. We do retail, so if you're in that supply chain, it can be the retail side of things. Business administration, we do team leading, human resource, recruitment, we do the junior management consultant level, we do assessing, leading and learning and mentoring, the childcare sort of things there, as you'll see, if that's the area that you're interested in. We do the supply chain warehouse operative as well. So they're all direct careers which tie into the warehousing and supply chain industry. In addition to that, we're also waiting on the announcement of the management for the supply chain and warehouse, and that's under development at the moment by the National Apprenticeship Service, or the Institute of Apprenticeships, and as soon as that comes live, we'll be offering that as well. So there's some great opportunities out there. As Caroline's previously said, our details will be circulated. Please contact us, and it'd be great to speak to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Leighton.
Anytime, thanks.
Really interesting to hear about some of those courses, and I think that it's a great point that you mentioned, that Ian's courses and the shorter courses where you develop a specific skill set are really good for people as a starting point. And then if you find that that's an area that you really enjoy and it's a good way to get your career going, maybe later you want to carry on with an apprenticeship and progress your career further down the line. So professional training, investment in those skills are essential within manufacturing. manufacturing, and it really is a continuous learning circle. So yeah, we will circulate all of the details that Leighton has mentioned today about Juniper, and thanks very much for coming on.
Sorry, there was something just going back to the previous, I said about resourcing the apprenticeship. I never mentioned, I've said to come through ourselves. You can actually, the other way of doing it is going through the National Apprenticeship Service. So if you Google find an apprenticeship, you can actually put your home postcode in, or your the area that you live. Either you can search specifically for the type of apprenticeship you're looking for, so supply chain or warehouse, customer service, whatever that may be, and then within a radius of what you can travel to easily, or you can even look at the whole of the UK and search from there, and that will list everything that's available, not just with Juniper Training, but with other training providers as well. I've had a little look this morning, and there is about 14 vacancies on there for supply chain and warehouse, and then I personally have also got another 5 which I'm about to recruit for. So lots of opportunities out there. Keep your eyes open on the Find an Apprenticeship website.
Leighton, can I just point out as well, sorry, I know it's not warehouse and logistics, but we, for our education and childcare provision, we have just been given an excellence rating on the national government's apprenticeship website. So if you do know anybody that's looking for childcare, we have that excellent rating on there as well.
Yeah, I should mention that. Thank you.
So.
Yeah. Good thinking.
Brilliant. Thanks very much to both of you. That's great. And as I say, details will be circulated after this. So go over to the Juniper details on the Jobs Match website, and you'll be able to find more details there. Thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you, everyone. Look forward to speaking to you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks. We're now going to go to Sam over at Career Connect, who's going to talk to us a little bit about the support services that they provide. Samantha, are you there?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Caroline.
Oh, it's just not got your camera on at the moment, Sam, so I can't push you live. So if you can pop that on for us, that'd be great.
There you go.
There we go. Just bear with us, everybody. As soon as you see yourself up on the screen, Sam.
Thank you, Caroline. Good morning, everybody. My name's Sam Crowther. I'm a careers advisor working on the Connect Manchester contract across the south of the city of Manchester, so Wythenshawe, kind of up towards Fallowfield. First of all, I'm going to apologise now for any background noise, as my dog has woken up on the wrong side of a basket and is barking at the slightest thing, and I can see the postman on his way around. My son is on home learning and his Microsoft Teams has gone down, so it's slightly chaotic here, but hopefully we'll get through this without any interruption. I just thought, as a start, I'd give you a snapshot about Career Connect before I go into what we do here in Manchester. Career Connect was established in 2001 as part of the Connections Network and became a charity in 2014. The charity is committed to helping young people and adults realise their potential by delivering high quality and professional career, employment and training services in schools, in the community and in prisons, and we're passionate about social mobility and helping the most disadvantaged to create a better future. So in Manchester in 2018, we were successful in bidding for the Manchester Local Authority NEET contract, and Connect Manchester was born. So the contract aims to reduce the NEET figures for 16 and 17-year-olds and those up to 25 who are care leavers or who've got an education healthcare plan across the city area, from Blakely in the north through to Longsight in the centre and down to Wythenshawe in the south and anywhere in between. The team is a mix of careers advisors, coaches and engagement workers, and we work together to support young people return to education, employment and training. Alongside this, we work in youth justice, alternative education settings such as PRUs and the Endeavour Federation schools, and we provide support to those young people who are ready to move on to post-16. Could I have the next slide, please, Caroline? So what does this bespoke package of support look like? Our referrals can come from any service working with 16 to 17-year-olds and those up to 25 for care leavers, or those with an EHC across the city who are NEET or at risk of becoming NEET. So this means that even Year 11 pupils who are still at school and the school are concerned will become NEET once they finish their exams due to not having any firm plans in place for September can be referred over, and our team can work with them to support them into something so they don't become NEET. Our team delivers support in the community from venues such as Sure Start centres, community hubs, job centres, libraries, and anywhere that we can find a space. So we're co-located as well. So when lockdown allows, you'll find us in Youth Justice, the Prews, the Fed schools. We've been co-located in Manchester College as well, and also the care leaver setting. The delivery model is to engage, assess an action plan, and every young person receives a bespoke action plan which they work on together with the advisor to support them in achieving their career goals. So once the young person's engaged with us, we can help them look at the barriers and the bigger picture as to what's stopping them from moving forward and progressing. We use a strength-based partnership approach, and that means that all of our young people have access to the very best of services that the city has to offer, and our working relationships with agencies such as healthcare, social care and others enables us to holistically deliver support to the young person dependent on their needs. So within the community, we have locality teams who are based in North, Central and South, and I'm part of the South team. These teams work with the hardest to reach young people, so those that are quite far from being work ready or who are not yet ready to engage in a programme of educational study. With these young people, our advisors support with things such as confidence building, improving motivation, getting them back into a routine. And as you know, lockdown has thrown any routine that anybody had completely out of the window. We'll also look at soft skills in order to help them get ready to look at careers and the next steps. Can I have the next slide, please, Caroline? So then, what does this journey look like? So once a referral is received and allocated to a member of the team, the young person will be contacted and offered an appointment. And due to the nature of the young people, this contact may take a while to establish, and other avenues such as contacting parents or other services may happen before a young person is spoken to. When that contact's been made with the young person, it's then they're then offered an appointment to meet with the advisor. Currently, we're doing this over the phone or via Zoom, Teams, video calls, but once we're out of lockdown, it'll go back to face-to-face as soon as we can. At the appointment, an initial assessment takes place and the barriers are identified with the young person. We talk through where they are at currently, what they want to be and what may be stopping them from achieving this. We'll discuss any other agencies involved and their role with the young person in terms of support, and that really helps us get a background picture as much as we can of what's going on in the life of that young person. And then from that, we create an action plan. This is very much the young person's action plan, and every young person has a copy. It can be emailed to them, they can get a physical copy. It just depends on kind of how they want it. And this will have actions for the young person and for the advisor to support them in doing something, or for the advisor to liaise with other professionals to offer further support. Our work does look very different from one young person to the next and can include things like support at interviews, whether that be training provider, a college, apprenticeships or a job, CV writing, interview prep and travel planning, just to mention a few. It can also take the shape of more formal careers guidance in looking at personality quizzes, job roles and labour market information. But all our young people are supported in their journey, and once they are in an EAT opportunity, our direct work stops and the provider takes over. So for example, if we were looking at Juniper, they then look after that young person, but when they're coming towards the end of the journey, and especially if it's a re-engagement provision, we'll look to support them and the provider to progress the young person onto something else if necessary. So you might be thinking, well, how do I refer? The simple answer is to get in touch. Our contact details will be involved in this presentation, and we can send you a referral if you're a professional via email. For young people who are 16 and 17 and aren't doing anything at the minute, follow our social media links. We have loads of links on there for opportunities and things happening in and around the city and further afield as well. So yeah, if you do need something to do, if you're looking for something and you're not sure, please do get in touch. And if you do have a young person that needs some extra support, then please, make a call and we can have a chat about them. So that's me for today. Thank you.
Great, thanks very much, Sam. And I think that's really important to know. So if you are NEET, which is not in education, employment or training, so you've maybe finished school or college and you've not really lined up the next opportunity yet, you're not heading off to further education and you don't currently have a job, then there are still plenty of opportunities out for you there. The support from Career Connect to help young people find their way back into different career paths, training or education routes is there, and it's really great this morning to hear how all the different providers are working together to connect up that level of support. So thanks very much, Sam, and coming on and talking to us this morning about a slightly different option for people who feel like they might be a little bit lost at the moment and need to find their way back into things. So thank you very much, and we will share all the details of Career Connect after the presentation. Next up, we are going to move to Dean from GP Strategies, who's going to talk to us a little bit more this morning, again, about some of the different routes through the apprenticeship programmes.
Hi there, good morning everyone. Hopefully you could hear me well. Good, cheers Caroline. Yeah, just to reiterate on everybody this morning, some very good points for young people and for employers out there who are working across the manufacturing, engineering sectors. My background is, since I was young, from 16, I served my apprenticeship myself as an engineer. I worked in the oil industry for over 20 years and have travelled the world within the oil industry. And so as far as being an engineer in manufacturing environments, that's what I've been used to all my career. I've lived in many countries and worked across many countries. So the young people in businesses of growth for the UK, it's very critical that we get the right people and the right young people to come through to the systems, because when you look at the average age of an engineer in the UK now, it is 53. Now I'm talking about a fully qualified engineer within the UK. So if you look at that, there's plenty of opportunities for young people around the Greater Manchester area to come and learn new skills within engineering and manufacturing, to make sure that there is growth for the whole UK and for the area of Stockport and Greater Manchester. So that's just a bit of background before I start. So currently at the moment, obviously, as you could see there by the lovely photograph, I'm the training programme manager for GP Strategies Corporation. We're an award-winning provider, customised performance improvement programmes, employing over 3,000 people in 25 countries around the world. So we're not just a UK provider, we do training around the world. So the UK part of it was established in 1997, and GP Strategies UK Apprenticeships division has over 12 offices in the UK, with the offer of 300 staff helping to deliver traineeships, apprenticeship programmes to commercial, public sectors, organisations such as adult care, childcare, business and management. Now you might think, why am I sitting here in a manufacturing, talking about manufacturing? Well, every manufacturing department might have business and management. Every organisation in engineering has an office behind this. They have customer service, business admin, team leaders, management, IT services. So that's what we could offer. That's what we could bring to the table for this part of the session. Obviously, with my background as well, I've got a lot of contacts within apprenticeship services as well. So referring across and working with other providers would be something that we can work with as well, to get you as a young person and as an employer the right match up, and that's a critical part here. So could you move to the next slide, Caroline, please? So at GP Strategies, we're rated as a good provider by Ofsted with outstanding features. We have a long history of helping people realise the full potential, and our success rates are among the highest in the country. We've got a 96% learner satisfaction rate, with at least 9 out of 10 of our learners rating us as a good provider. Over 85% of our apprentices achieve their qualifications, and that's 16% above the national average, so that's a good percentage. Our offer to employers and to learners is combined with accredited qualifications to match your needs, obviously. We offer a free recruitment service, so if you have a need for taking a young person on an apprenticeship or a traineeship, it's a free service. It doesn't cost you a penny. We've got local and government funding, and we also tapped on incentives this morning. Someone else within the meetings this morning has tapped on the incentives. The government have brought out these brand new incentives just this week for taking on young people. Now, if you've taken a young person on from a traineeship who's 16 to 18 all the way through to apprenticeship, when you work out the maths on it, there's a possibility of £5,000 worth of incentives towards a business now to do that. So now is the time from April the 1st onwards to get involved with recruiting young people within your business and taking people on traineeships and apprenticeships. We offer a blended delivery, so that could be online, face-to-face. Currently at the moment, most of our stuff is doing online, but when we do come out of this COVID situation, we'll be moving to more of a blended delivery. We offer levy and non-levy support and digital systems for the ease of process, because everything we do is getting away from the paperwork side of the business and moving it more into the digital age. So obviously GP Strategies Stockport office. I work out the Stockport office. It specialises in a wide range of traineeships, apprenticeships. Like I said earlier, we cover childcare, adult care, business admin, customer service and leadership management. Now the three bottom ones there are critical for the manufacturing, engineering companies, and we can support all that moving forward for you. It's not a problem. So if you move on to the next slide, Caroline, please. So looking at management apprenticeships, that's just one of our offers of apprenticeships as part of many offers we have. So we could look at possibly for your business, the team leader supervisor level 3 apprenticeship, the operations department manager level 5. So that's looking at your management and your senior management within your business, and possibility of associate project manager level 4. So they're quite high level qualifications for different parts of your business. Obviously, we do operate the customer service business administration apprenticeships as well. So there's plenty to offer for you as a business moving forward, and please do get in touch. Like I said, there's our office details there and some contact details for myself and for where to apply. So if you move on to the next slide, Caroline, please. So I don't know if anybody knows exactly where GP Strategies are based in Stockport. Now Stockport is the head office for the whole UK, and there's the building there. We work out at Kingsgate House, which is on Wellington Road, basically just up from the town centre of Stockport, on the left as you go up past Debenhams. And on floor 6 of the building there is our central admin team for UK. And floor 4 within that building is where I operate out of, and that's where the full recruitment team and the delivery team operate from. So we come and visit you in business, at your business, we deliver within your business, and support that from these offices. Level 4 also has a training hub, which currently at the moment is closed because of the COVID, but once we come out of COVID, this will be open again, and we can book appointments and get young people in to do BKSB testing, interview techniques, CV writing, different things like that with our ARC recruitment team. So we have currently got live traineeship and apprenticeship vacancies on our website. So the website's there, www.gpstl/apprenticeships.co.uk. And if you're looking to recruit a trainee or an apprentice as an employer, please contact myself or our recruitment team on the telephone number there, which is 0330 1000 610. All advice and guidance is free. We're here to help. We're here to help Greater Manchester and Stockport grow. We want you to buy into our support. That's what we're here for. We could work across different partnerships on people that have been in the meetings so far this morning. We already operate across these people, and we're here to help. So, like I said, please do get in contact. No questions are silly, because that's what we're here. We're here to support and give guidance. So thank you for the time this morning. Cheers, Caroline. Thank you.
Great, thanks very much, Dean. That was really, really interesting, and I think it's important to say that you know, a lot of the roles within the manufacturing, logistics, supply chain sector rely very heavily on those core skills that you mentioned, whether that be business administration or customer service or those leadership skills. So really nice that we've had that progression route today of lots of different skills areas covered across the different sectors. So thank you very much indeed for coming on and joining us, Dean. I think that's it for training providers this morning. So a really good coverage, but I think it was important to get everybody in because there's lots of different areas to developing your skills within the manufacturing sector. So first up this morning, in terms of employers and industry experts, we're going to be switching over to Rowlinson Knitwear for their presentation. You're not going to be able to see the presenters, Sally and Ian, on your screens, but you are going to get to see their slides and hear them talk. So I'll just push that to the full screen now and introduce them. So over to you both. Sally and Ian, can you hear us?
Yeah, okay.
Great stuff. Take it away.
Hi, so my name's Sally and I work for Rowlinson Knitwear. We're a school uniform company and we sell about 2 million products a year directly to retailers. We don't sell to parents, we just sell to shops that you can go and buy from. We're an EO company, which means we're employee owned. We're 100% employee owned now, which means all of the shares of the company are held in a trust. We don't have a board to answer to, we have our own trustee board. So everything's done in-house, which is really good. We're also a B Corp, thanks to our interest in not only caring about people who work here, but also our products and the planet. We have a great interest in knowing where our products come from, what's in them, who works on them, and we have a really close relationship with our factories as well. You might recognise some of our brands, the Woodbank, Cortel and Performer names from either your own school uniform or maybe your children's school uniform. These three brands cover knitwear, sweats, polos and also blazers. We did originally just specialise in knitwear, but we've branched out and blazers is our newest product. It's also the most complicated product, but we're getting there. We specialise now in being able to personalise products for our customers, which means we can put striping on them in different colours, or we can put badges on and embroidery to make sure that all uniforms can be as unique as possible. Our ethical ethos covers everything from knowing all about our products, but also how we treat our colleagues, and we create a healthy work environment. Our motto of do good, make good, feel good is not just for us, it's for everybody who's involved with Rollinson. And our values, trust, care and be better, live through everything that we do. Next, please.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting for the slide.
The slide's up there now.
Oh, thank you. So I work in quality. We have quality teams based in Bangladesh, Egypt and also the UK. We inspect a proportion of products in the UK as the most thorough checks are done offshore, but we're another opportunity to stop faults getting to customers. So we also look at returns in the UK, and I've put a couple of garments up there which are both returns. The one on the right a customer has said that the hem's damaged and also it's out of shape, and then the other green one, has a hole in it. So it's our job to assess these faulty products and determine whether it's a manufacturing error and if there's anything we can do to improve them. Fortunately, our returns rate is really low, 0.05%, which is quite hard to comprehend. So that's the same as 5 in 10,000 garments. So when you think we sell 2 million, it's still a very low number. Even though it is low, we still like to analyse all the returns so we can keep our returns rate low, but also we can keep improving our products. One of the other things we do in quality is we do lots of testing. So it gives us an opportunity to ensure that our garments are continuing to perform to the standards that we set, and we spot check our garments. So when we get a delivery and we're inspecting, say, 300 pieces, we'll take a few of those out and we'll wash test them. We'll test them for abrasion, which means we rub, cause friction to see if the fibres break down. We test it for pilling, which everyone knows what it is, but they don't necessarily know the name. When you get little bobbles on your cardigans or your jumpers and fibres on the surface, that's pilling. So we do quite a few tests like that. And you can also see there we've got a button pull machine as well to test how strongly the buttons are put on. So in quality, we're looking for one colleague at the moment with an eye for detail and a proactive approach. And this could be a full or a part-time position. I'll pass you on to my colleague Ian, update on the warehouse.
Hello everyone, I'm Ian, I'm the warehouse manager. I just wanted to give you an overview of our warehouse operation. So there's 3 main areas, receipt and store, where we're unloading the containers and loading the pick face. Picking, which is picking individual orders to the school garments to send to customers. Orders are picked on paper. And then dispatch, which is packing and dispatching to customers on a next day delivery. We operate on a 3-shift fixed structure, so there's no rotation. We have an early shift that works 6 till 2, a day shift that works 10 till 6, a late shift that works 2 till 11. Now you might wonder why they work till 11. That's because they do an extra hour each day so they can finish at 6:30 on a Friday. So even the late shift get an early finish to the weekend. We have 2 main milestones in the day that I just wanted to talk about. 5 PM, we have last customer orders received, and then 6 PM, the trailer departs, so orders must be dispatched and loaded by 6 PM for the next day delivery. After that, the late shift continue picking orders for embroidery. Key requirements for us, one of our main ones is accuracy, so the customer gets the order correct first time. And efficiency, so we've got kind of small windows to make sure those orders are loaded onto trailers, so it's really key that orders are dispatched on time. And to fit in with our values, Sally mentioned before, be better, we're always looking for continuous improvement, so we'd like to encourage ideas. Our busiest periods are through July, August and September, which is known as back to school for schoolwear. So we'll be looking to recruit on the day shift or late to cover those critical milestones that I mentioned before, because the late shift and the day shift cover those times. So that's it for the warehouse. Next slide, please. Caroline?
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about, finish on talking about the rewards and benefits to working for Rollinson. So as well as competitive salaries, lowest paid are on a real living wage, which is more than the national minimum. We have people's voice, so Sally mentioned we're employee owned, so it's really important everybody has a voice and their ideas are heard, and we look to reward and recognition on that. We have great facilities here, it's quite a neat building. I've just put a picture on there of our staff hub. There's loads of nice little facilities in there on your break time. There's a dartboard, TV, free tea and coffee and free fresh fruit. Lots of additional benefits as well. Some of the big ones in there that just pick out interest-free loans. So we'd hate for anyone, if they got into financial trouble, they go to a loan shark. So we offer that to our colleagues. Profit share, that's part of being employee owned. So we share a portion of the profits every year with everybody. and that's paid in December just before Christmas. And death in service sounds kind of a negative thing, but it's really just a peace of mind that we pay 4 times annual salary to the families of anybody unfortunate there's a death in service. So I think that's like a really good thing to do. And then I just wanted to finish on, rather than just taking my word for it, I just wanted to give a summary of our latest colleague satisfaction survey. 95% people who work here took part in that, and they were 100% positive regarding care, the company caring about them, understanding the purpose of the business, the communication throughout the business, our ethical journey, being B Corp, feeling safe at work, and probably the best one at the end, 100% of the people that took part said they were proud to work for Rollinson. So that's it, that's us.
Yep.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you very much to both of you for coming on today. It was really great. I liked seeing the pictures of the working environment. We've heard a lot from training providers this morning talking about the skills that are involved and how to get a career in the sector. It was nice to hear from employer and see how those are put into practice in terms of the physical side of working shifts and the working environment and when important things happen throughout the course of the day. And all I would add to that is for anybody who is interested in a career with Rollinson to go onto some of their social media channels or onto their website. You will see through and through that values piece being communicated in lots of the activities that they do, and how they communicate information about all of the different things that happen with their staff and different things that they're involved in. So go and have a look and check those out. And any of the vacancies that have been mentioned today are live on the Jobs Match website. So if you're interested in dropping them a copy of your CV, I know that they've got opportunities at the moment for temporary warehouse and garment checkers in their quality control division as well. So thank you very much to Sally and Ian for joining us today.
Thank you.
So last up this morning, we have got Stuart joining us from William Turner. Sorry, just switching the slides across there and making sure that Stuart was with us. So I'm going to switch you over to Stuart now. Similar industry in some respects, but very different presentation in others. So Stuart will be able to fill you in a little bit more on his role within the business.
Hi, good morning. Thanks to Caroline for inviting me along. I'm Stuart Hope. I work for William Turners. We are a schoolwear accessories provider in Stockport. We work kind of alongside Rollinson, so you've just heard from Ian. Whereas Ian and the guys supply uniforms, t-shirts, blouses, skirts, etc. We supply the accessories to go with them. So your book bags, your bottles, your school bags, and generally they can be all embroidered so that they fit with the company, with the school's identity and the young people who go to that school and their personal identity. William Turners we've just celebrated our 50th year in business. We're family owned by 2 brothers, Dan Turner and John Turner. They are 3rd generation owners of the company, and we distribute 3 million items a year, and as I say, it complements the schoolwear that Rollinsons distribute. So although we're in the same industry, supplying to the same people, we're not quite competitors in that respect. So far this morning, obviously, we've heard a lot about apprenticeships and how to get involved in warehousing and logistics. But I just want to talk a little bit about the relevance and the day-to-day operations in warehousing and logistics. Just a little bit of focus on the 3 main functions of warehousing and how they impact on a business's performance. How these 3 functions affect day-to-day operations and delivery of customer service to your customers, and then sort of towards the end, just a little bit of sort of guidance maybe about what companies and warehouse managers are looking for in candidates, when you get to interview stage. And then once you're in, development and progression, because as you'll see there, it isn't all about experience. Once you're into warehousing, and getting in at apprenticeship level really gives you a solid platform to grow as an individual and as a professional. Next slide, please, Caroline. So the three main functions of warehousing, it's quite a generic overview, this. You've got goods receipt, stock management once the goods are in, and then shipping the goods out to your customers. At Turners, we import from China, but we also have a large UK supply network. And regardless of the origin, any product that enters our building, we want to make sure that it's fit for sale and it's of the highest possible quality, because we have a real focus on quality at Turners. We have an ethos at Turners in the warehouse that if it's wrong at the start, it'll be wrong at the end. So my goods in team, when they're doing their goods receipt, they've got a real focus on checking the quantities right, because obviously there's financial impact there for the company, so that's important. There's a quality impact in terms of what, the quality of the product that we're going to deliver to the customer, and we want to make sure that we're delivering at the end the best product that's available in the market. Moving on to the stock management, once the product is in the building, it's important that you look after that product. So you've got to talk about maintaining stock accuracy. If your customer comes on and he can see on your website that you've got 100 of a particular item in stock, he wants to order those 100. He wants to receive 100 the next day. He doesn't want to receive 99 or 90. He wants 100. So stock management throughout the day, throughout the year is massively important, because during the year it impacts customer service positively, and at the end of the year it can also impact your company's financial results, because stock is invariably your largest and most expensive asset. So stock management within warehousing is hugely important, and will always be the platform for any warehouse to be successful. The third main function, but by no means any less important than the stock side of things, is the shipping. We've all ordered something possibly from Amazon or online, and most of the time you want it next day. If you look at Amazon, you can order up to 9 PM and you can get it the next day, which is quite a service. We don't operate that late at Turners. We have a 4 PM cut-off, but invariably anything that comes in after 4, we do manage to get it out. Our shipping ethos is on time, first time, every time. So a customer orders their goods today, they want it tomorrow, they get it tomorrow. First time, if they order a blue water bottle, they want a blue water bottle, we want to make sure we pick the right item. That's massively important to customer service, and we want to achieve that every time. We have a current pick accuracy of just over 99.5%, and that's how much emphasis we place on stock accuracy and pick accuracy. Next slide, please, Caroline. So how do these three functions affect the day-to-day operations and delivery of customer service? Company reputation. As I've said there, nobody wants a bad review on Trustpilot. If you order, as I say, a blue water bottle or 10 blue water bottles, you want 10 blue water bottles and you want them tomorrow. If you get them tomorrow, you've done a great job, you've done the best you can do. If you don't quite hit the mark, some customers might not be overly pleased with that. So focus on detail, focus on accuracy. It feeds through to company reputation. Ensuring the customer receives what they've paid for. As I say, if they order 10, they've paid for 10, they want 10. Again, accuracy is so important, and you need to have that focus within you as an individual to make sure that you're picking accurately, shipping accurately, and the customer's getting what they want. How does it affect the business going forward? You know, happy customers will come back, and that's repeat business. Every business in the world relies on repeat business, more sales to grow the business, to grow your reputation, to grow your income, and look after their employees as well. You know, we all go to work to earn a wage. The more sales you get, the more chance you've got of getting any increase in your salary, hopefully. Next slide, please, Caroline. Thank you. So what are companies and warehouse managers looking for? So if you're coming in at apprenticeship level, you've got, as I said before, you've got a good platform to get in there, but you'll also have an interview to go through. So what are warehouse managers and companies looking for? We generally want to see an enthusiastic person sat in front of us, have a gentle chat to, a nice, friendly, relaxed environment. But we want to see that enthusiasm. We don't, you know, we want to see someone who's showing an interest in what we're talking about, what we're asking about, what they're telling us. Energy from people. Working in a warehouse is a physical job. It's a high productivity job, a high turnover in terms of daily shipments. As Ian said from Rollinson's, July and August during back to school, before all the kids go back to school in September, it can be quite intense. So we need people with energy, with a drive, with a personal sort of will to get things done and get things done right. Thoughtfulness. You want someone who's going to engage with you during a conversation, so that comes back to the enthusiasm and the showing the interest. Ask relevant questions. If you're not sure about something, don't be afraid to ask your interviewer to explain what they mean or what they're talking about. But equally, if you do know what they're talking about, relay examples back to them. You know, yes, I've experienced that before, I've heard of that before, and give them examples of how you can relate to what they're talking to. And then once you've been successful, a willingness to learn. Once you've got your foot in the door, as it were, a willingness to learn. And as I said before, it isn't all about experience. If you get in there, you'll start at entry level. Basically, you'll be picking and packing, and just making sure that, as I've said before, you're picking the right product, getting the customer what they want, when they want it. And it can be hard work, it can be quite intense, but at Turner's, and I've spoke to Ian at Rollinson's a lot, it can be quite fun as well. They have a little bit of music on in the background, it's a nice atmosphere, and warehouses are generally quite big, open spaces. You don't feel enclosed. So it is a nice atmosphere. You can work in a nice atmosphere. Next slide, please, Caroline. So you've got in, you've worked through your apprenticeship, you're carrying on working with your business. As an individual, you want to develop, you want to progress. What development and progression is available to people in warehousing? There's actually quite a lot of development and progression available in warehousing, and I'm just going to highlight a few of the areas that tend to sort of repeat themselves. A WMS is a warehouse management system. From that, you will gain key IT skills, because a lot of warehouse management systems, the computer systems, are quite similar. Producing picks, monitoring stock levels, ensuring stock is removed off the shelf when it's been picked and the invoice is produced for the customer. Once you've picked up that side of it, that is, as you'll see below there's transferable skills. So once you've picked up how to use a warehouse management system, the chances are, if you moved on to another company, you would use a similar sort of system, so that would give you the foot in the door sort of knowledge. Product knowledge, understanding of your company's business, understanding your company's product, With ourselves at Turners, we rotate our stock very regular, because on a bag, for example, you can have a mesh pocket on the side. It could be a simple little change or a subtle little change, the change of the colour of the mesh. So it's important that you know when you're picking the product, you're picking the right product, and that it has the right colour mesh, and you're not mixing batches from, even though it comes from the same supplier, you can have mixed batches. So product knowledge is vitally important to the guys at the end of the chain in the warehouse. And finally, transferable skills. As we heard a little bit earlier, forklift truck licenses. Some are in-house, but most are transferable. So once you've got your forklift truck license, you can take that if you chose to move on to another company. A counterbalance, reach truck, bendy license, or a flexi license. I've had my counterbalance now for nearly 30 years. And I've took it with me to each individual place where I've been, and it has without doubt helped me get the jobs that I've had. Nvqs in warehousing and logistics, really, that's a really interesting course. I've done an Nvq in warehousing and an Nvq in management. Doing the Nvq, it opens up your horizons again to what's involved in warehousing, to the importance of warehousing and the understanding of warehousing. It isn't just a case of bringing a box in, putting it on a shelf, and then putting it on the back of a truck to get to a carrier, to get to your customer. There's far more to it than that. And the Nvqs will open up those horizons for you and those ideas, and then you can then implement them in your workplace. So if you ever got the opportunity to do an Nvq in warehousing, I couldn't recommend it enough. It can open so many doors for you. And finally, career progression. Everybody would like to be, well, not everybody, most people would like to be in a position where they move up the corporate ladder. Myself, I started off as a picker. Moved on to stock control, then became a team leader, a warehouse supervisor, and now I'm a warehouse manager. The good thing about the career progression is that you then get to pass your knowledge on to others, to see them grow, to help them grow and help them make their way in the world. And doing that in warehousing and logistics, it's really rewarding. For you personally, and for your the person you're training. And again, it's a transferable skill. So once you've got that knowledge of management, that knowledge of being a team leader or a supervisor, it does open other doors for you to other areas, not necessarily in warehousing and logistics, but it does open other doors for you. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks very much, Stuart. Really interesting to hear a couple of different points there in terms of some of the skills that are required within manufacturing and warehousing and logistics jobs. So what you might be asked to demonstrate in an interview environment, some of the skills that you might need to show, and those are skills that you can kind of think of examples of beforehand, whether it be the energy, the thoughtfulness, that kind of attention to detail and that willingness to learn. You can practice those before you go into your interview and think of real life examples of how you might have demonstrated those either at home or in voluntary projects that you've done, your hobbies and interests, your school life, etc. So really good to know. And obviously the career prospects that are on offer seem really broad. So thank you very much for coming in and talking to us today and sharing a slightly different perspective.
Cheers, thanks Caroline.
Thanks. So that brings us to the end. of Greater Manchester Careers Week 2021. Today was our final presentation. Whether you have watched us live, thank you very much for joining us, or you're watching us back on YouTube, be sure to check out the other careers videos from the rest of the week. So Monday we had all about careers in health and social care. Tuesday was customer service and retail. Wednesday was IT and digital. Thursday was media marketing creative. We've had some fantastic guest speakers telling us all about their companies, sharing their career stories, their success stories, their insights. We've had some funny anecdotes along the way. Go online, have a look at those videos. Hopefully they will help you understand what careers involve, how to get started with those careers, the skills involved, the entry requirements, and where they can take you. I hope you found all of the information useful. There's still plenty more available online for you to check out later today, or to come back and visit at another point. You can do so by checking out the hashtags GMCW 2021 and NCW 2021. It's all over our profile pages on social media at JobsMatchSK on Twitter and at Stockport Jobs Match on Facebook and Instagram, or you can head over to our website stockport-jobsmatch.co.uk/career-development for the career guides. You'll also be able to find all of the training information on there and search for over 3,000 jobs, which also includes apprenticeships, traineeships and work experience placements as well. And there's no other careers fairs to register for, but do check out those videos on YouTube. And if you have any feedback at all, please send that over to our social media accounts or comment on the YouTube videos. Thanks, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the rest of National Careers Week.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good luck, everybody.